I have nightmares.
After eating what?
And then I wake up after eating anything.
Oh.
Hello, friends. Welcome to RPG, Real Podcast Gamers here on Power Creep. We got almost all of our main homies, excluding Nihad. But we got me,
My boy's still
Lana.
overseas.
Yes, our boy's still overseas. We got me, Lana, Kevin, Jorge, and Dion. Whoop, whoop,
Hello.
whoop. But yes, there's so much I think for us to talk about this week. First of all, Starfield.
That's next
I want to
week.
dive into that because
As of recording, yeah.
Yes, it's next week. I don't really know. I just know it's hyped
But what
up.
is
Bethesda, it's like Skyrim in space, I guess. They're not.
Skyrim in
They
space.
have some of
That's what it
the
is?
planets are procedurally generated and some aren't.
Okay. As
Is
the
it like
Starfield-
what's that one game?
No Man's
Sky.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
But
is
this
it
is
like
like
that?
that?
more serious and not necessarily grounded, but more grounded, if that makes any sense. Kind of like how Interstellar was still like a sci-fi space movie, but like they're still NASA and they're like kind of normally looking astronauts. Like it kind of looks more like
You
that.
know,
not
I've
as
never
super
seen that
sci-fi.
movie actually.
You should really see it.
It is a
Interstellar.
long movie, Dion.
It is
Really?
a long movie. You can watch it in 2 parts, kinda, but it's worth sitting
Yeah.
down. And
Oh,
knocking
damn.
out.
It's really long.
Yeah.
I don't know how I sat through it. I'm gonna be honest.
You know what's even longer? Waiting for Starfield to download. Because it's 100 and
Wait,
it's
how
over
big is that game
100
gonna be?
gigabytes.
Do we
Hold
know?
on. Yeah, Starfield on PC.
136.
Oh my god.
136. I think
On
that's
PC.
bigger
That's a big
than
baby right
Baldur's
there.
Gate,
139.
It's 126 on Xbox.
Yeah.
which that's another game.
You know what's
we're
crazy?
You
talking
can
about.
actually start preloading the game now, apparently,
Yes.
because
You can't preload it on Steam
like
yet, though.
no, but it's still a quarter of your Xbox. I mean, I guess you were trying to.
I'm about to say,
you're
don't like
trying to
Xbox got like
fit-
500 gigabytes.
Yeah, mine has.
The
Actually,
Series S.
mine has one terabyte, but it's
Yeah,
still like
Series X has a terabyte.
it's,
okay.
This game is literally trying to fit the infinite, boundaries of space into a little disc to put into my little box. So I guess 126
There's no
gigabytes isn't
disc.
too bad.
The game has no disc.
That's a good point. Yeah, nothing's on that disc. That disc is for fun. That disc is a picture, and it makes a little woo sound in your machine, and you get to tell yourself you did something by putting it in. But you're right, there is nothing on that disc.
So I pre-ordered Starfield Collector's Edition. It comes in next week.
Let's
What
go.
comes with it?
Collector's edition. Okay.
Yeah.
What
What
comes
comes with
with the
that?
collector's edition?
Comes with a watch, a smartwatch.
Whoa.
Because in the
Okay.
game, so I guess a good comparison of this would be like Fallout in space almost, because you know how in Fallout you have your Pip-Boy. So in this
Yeah.
game you have this little
Smartwatch?
like smartwatch, that you used to get in and stuff. So I'm guessing, because they didn't really talk about it that much, that they're going to have it function like a real smartwatch that you can use here. And because when Fallout 4 came out, they came out with a Pip-Boy that you can use in game, and those things are rare now. So I mean, I just want to get it because it's gonna be a rare commodity later.
Are you getting it on PC or on Xbox?
So the cool thing about Xbox is that there's something called Xbox Play Anywhere, where you can actually get a game on Windows or on Xbox, and you can play it on both systems. So I can play it on my Xbox, and then if I want to stream it here, or if everyone's on Discord or something, I'll just play it here on my PC.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
So that's
Be
pretty cool that
awesome.
Xbox does
Very
that.
handy.
That's so nice.
How much
Yeah.
of the
PlayStation
game
needs
story
that.
do you know, or are you going to go in blind?
I'm going in as blind as I can. I did watch some previews of it when like the Bethesda showcase. I did watch that. But I'm still going in blind because I don't know anything about the story. There's already been spoilers out. And all I know is that the game's going to be big. This is probably Bethesda's like magnum opus. I feel like this is going to probably be their best game ever created. And I'm really excited about that. I think really I'm going to put a lot of time into it. And to be honest, I am putting in high expectations for this. And if it doesn't live up to my expectations, I'm going to probably sell my Xbox.
Wow.
Wait,
Hefty.
what? Do you
This-
only have your Xbox for that game?
It's a Starfield
My Xbox has
machine
been catching
now.
dust this whole time.
Yeah, mine has
My
too.
Xbox has been catching dust this whole time, and the only reason why I still have it is because of Starfield. And if Starfield doesn't live up to the hype, I'm selling that shit. It's just there's no
yeah.
point to it. It's like if I wanted to, I can just play my games on PC. So what's the point of my Xbox?
Yeah, that's
I know
that's
some people
my
might have
exact
a
boat.
use for it, but not me.
It's a
That's very
cool
true.
console, and I like obviously the design better than the PS5 and to outward. But like, yeah, ultimately just all those games I can play on PC, and even the backwards compatibility I can play on PC. So it's an unfortunate
Exactly.
console. It's
So
Yeah, that's like why
unfortunate
I
one.
haven't for the longest time been interested in getting an Xbox or anything, because it's like anything I could potentially play on Xbox is
And, like, I like
available on PC.
the controllers.
They did
feel
kind of
better.
shoot themselves in the foot with that one, but you know.
Well, you could connect your controller to your PC, so
Well, see, the
that's
thing is, I
also a
still
thing.
like
I have a really cute pink one.
I like PS5's.
tell.
I like the vibration stuff. Whatever it was, the dual sense. I like the dual sense.
the haptic feedback.
Yeah, I ultimately that to me, even though it's like, you know, whatever feature that it's kind of gimmicky, but whatever, I like it. I like it in games. I like when it's implemented well in games. And even though ergonomically the controller for the Series X is way better, the haptic feedback of the PS5 just brings me into a lot of experiences in games a lot more. Like it definitely did that with Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's absolutely doing that with FF16.
I feel like the PlayStation also just like has a lot more console exclusive games, so there's like way more interest.
That and
in
it takes
getting a
advantage,
PlayStation.
and it takes advantage of the fact that it's on PlayStation, if that makes sense. It is like, yeah, like because it's an exclusive PlayStation game, you're gonna have a lot more of that integration with it just fluidly working and being out of the box. Like, oh yeah, made for PlayStation.
That's true.
Bam. PS5 optimized.
That's true.
Give it probably like 10 years and Xbox will have a lot of content. That's cool controller.
Thank you. I got like these knobs separately, but they're pink penguins. And obviously I love the color pink, and penguins are my favorite animal. So it's like, this brings me joy. I use it anytime I play like a controller based game, or a game that's just generally more enjoyable to play with a controller. On PC, I just hook this up and that's it. Like, I don't need a whole console. My PC is a console, you know? Like,
Very, yeah.
in a way.
It
so,
is without a data console.
You remember the Hunchback TVs, man?
Yes.
I miss those TVs.
Bro, those go for so much now. It's so cyclical. Everybody wants them
Why?
again. Nostalgia.
The CRTVs.
CRTs are going for a lot now, man. Especially after the pandemic.
They play
Everyone was
old
into retro
consoles
gaming and shit.
better-ish,
I wanna
or
get one
not
for
better,
speedrunning.
but like kinda.
Wait, why do speedrunners use CRTs? I never
That's
understood
what
that.
I was wondering, because I thought it was like a better way to like play the game or something.
Yeah,
Or
I
maybe
think
I'm
I,
just
I still think it
misunderstanding
is.
it.
I still think it's like because of like the fluidness of like motion and movement and stuff with a CRT is gonna be better and be more accurate. It's just not gonna look as good. It's gonna be fuzzier.
Do you know what's funny?
What's
When I
funny?
was a kid, when we got our first flat screen TV, my dad paid like $3,000 for it.
Damn.
And like, it's so crazy to think that like now,
Was it
like
plasma
those
or
same
some
4K TVs. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a plasma.
plasmas.
It's just crazy to think now, like those TVs are like nothing. Like you can go to Walmart and get those TVs now.
Yeah,
Yep. I literally, so like
it's like
my
cars.
TV right now is like, it's a 75 inch
Jesus.
TV, and it's like, I
Overcompensating
got
much?
it.
I have one too.
Okay.
75-inch TV.
Yeah, me too, dude.
Dion, you know what they
That's
say
amazing.
about people
Got
with
it.
75-inch TVs.
Yeah.
Oops. Anyways, I got it on like, I think it was a Cyber Monday sale or something like that, and it was like, it ended up coming out around like $600 to $700, and I'm like, dang, this like at some point in time would have been like way more expensive
Hell yeah.
than what I paid
That's
for
about
it.
$7,000 right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Damn.
like
I feel
give
lucky.
it 5, probably 5 years. You'll see 8K TVs be the new norm.
Right, but then like, what about like
You'll see
audio
people
systems
using
with it
8Ks.
though? Because like, to be honest, the sound quality of a lot of these flat screens, like out of the box, is not awesome. Like, you're gonna want a sound system. Have those been getting more affordable too? Mine was given to me for free, so I have absolutely
That's
no
a
idea.
great
Dude,
how
question.
I
the
have
cost of
zero.
sound system
I have
is.
zero clue, dude.
Like, as great as
Zero
8K
clue.
is gonna be, you're gonna need that 5D surround. You gotta feel it in your ass. You
Probably.
know? That's gonna be the good.
I have
audio.
the same one like that we got like years ago, and it's so good.
Yeah, right. Well, that's
don't
the other
even
thing.
know the
Like, if
scene.
you have like a good speaker, it's gonna be a good speaker until you break it, until it busts. Like, it's gonna capture and push out all the right like frequencies until it stops working. So, yeah, mine is old. Mine is from like the late '90s, I think, or early 2000s. It's crazy.
Wow.
But
Damn.
I figured out I do like, I'm not an Apple person really, not really an Apple fanboy, but I'm a big fan of Apple TVs and Apple TV remotes because my speaker like system receiver box thing, it can only be IR controlled from this like ancient ass remote from like the 2000s with like 1,000 buttons on it, and it's like clunky to use the volume buttons with it, and it's like annoying to leave out. And Apple TV has a function where if you literally like just have that remote and have the original remote, like the source remote that you would use to change like the volumes and stuff, you just be like, hey, put the volume button, hit up on it, and hit the same button, then you hit up on your Apple TV remote, bam, it now knows volume. And you can sync it and just use all the controls with the IR of the volume of the receiver, not mess with the volume of the TV, and only have one remote for the entire system. And it's awesome. It's very handy.
That's so convenient.
Man, look, I'm not an Xbox hater at all, dude. I really hope Xbox does good so then competition can continue to increase between Sony, Nintendo.
I don't know. I think
you know.
Sega's gonna make a return. I think Sega's gonna
I don't
fucking
know. I don't
jump out
think
of
so.
left field and be like, fuck you guys, we're coming out with the Dreamcast 2. And it's gonna be like the craziest
that'd
console
be so
ever.
crazy,
I don't-
bro.
Nah, Sega's just been waiting.
They don't they
They're
own them
gonna
or something like
swoop
that,
in.
right?
Dude,
Who
if
I bet
Microsoft
you,
buys Sega, I'll be.
what tech company do you think would be the most likely to break into the console scene? Who would like give it a go?
Apple.
Apple? What about
Apple.
Samsung?
Apple?
They tried it before. I know they didn't
Apple?
do good, but they.
Oh, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Well, they have
what were they trying
arcade,
to come out with?
And that's like on the Apple TV and I guess on your phone and like,
Apple had their own console. It was called the Apple Pimpin'.
when did that come out?
That's what it was called. This was back in '97.
Oh my
Or it
God.
came out
What?
'96. Came out '96 and it discontinued a year later.
Well, wait, hold on.
Damn,
Jorge,
so they
Jorge,
barely tried.
can it play Doom?
That's always the test. That's the bar.
I need
It's
to
like,
know.
can it play Doom?
I wonder if
Dude,
it
this
could play
thing came
Minecraft,
out
to be honest.
$599,
Damn.
equivalent to $1,120 in today's money.
They asking too much for that bad boy.
That's
no,
Apple,
for
bro.
real
What
though.
could it play? Sudoku?
They did come out with some games.
Okay, that's good.
Can it play Doom?
Looks like some Bandai games. I don't see
Bandai
anything
Namco?
about Doom. Let me see if it says. Yeah, nothing about Doom here.
Which Bandai
a
Namco
missed
games?
opportunity.
This was before they were called Bandai Namco.
This is just Namco.
It's just
Really?
called Bandai, yeah.
Or just-
Because Namco and Bandai were two different companies, then they merged.
Because Namco
I
just
am
made
learning
like
something new today.
Pac-Man, right?
Yeah. Now
Wait,
they
so
make
it could run Pac-Man?
now they make Elden Ring and shit.
So could it run Pac-Man?
I don't see anything about Pac-Man either.
Is it actually showing you a list
Was it
of
just
all
some
games?
random games?
So it cost $1,000 and had no games.
It had no, bro. It was only out for a year, bro. They couldn't make shit for that, man.
That shit crazy.
That's insane.
They ran into the PS3 problem.
Dude, that seriously.
I wonder if anybody owns one today.
Man, it
If
sounds like a Wii U, but worse.
exists.
I bet you like
Oh,
some
yeah.
deep Apple fanboy YouTuber has one and made a video about it, and then outside of that, I'm sure
Hell
it
yeah.
doesn't get used.
It's PIPPIN, Pippin.
Huh. Sounds
Apple
so
Pippin,
unnecessary. How much storage does it have? What does it come with base? 256 megabytes?
32 megabytes.
2 megabytes.
Do you think whoever named it was a huge Lord
Come
of
on,
the
at least
Rings
256 megabytes. How many?
Only 42,000 sold. So yeah, very, very little amount out there. I don't see anything about the storage.
Very limited.
It has to have storage, right? They have
32
that.
megabytes.
Oh
30
my
No.
fucking god.
Yeah.
It was 32?
Good job,
Yeah.
Dion.
Let's go.
37 megabytes and 32 megabytes of RAM.
That's
Hell no.
insane to me. Like Baldur's Gate 3 came out recently, which is like amazing, but it's also 126 gigabytes.
But that game looks crazy though.
It is so good, y'all. Like it got, I think it was IGN, they gave it a 10 out of 10. And I'm like, there is reasons that this game is getting good ratings. It's like, there's so much creativity to in terms of like how you build your character and everything like that. My character is super high. I feel very proud of my character creation. And I have like a character with a campaign I'm doing with friends, and then I have like my own solo thing. So when I don't want to wait for friends to be online to play
How many
it,
hours do you have in it?
I do. Let me double check.
Dang.
But it came out. When did it come out? I
Couple
have
weeks
so
ago
far.
now.
It
Beginning
says,
of August?
yeah, so it's literally just been a couple weeks. It says I have 41.6 hours
Nice.
put into it so far, but it takes so long. Like it is such a big game.
Yeah.
Like our friend Josh, I think he put, I can't remember how many hours he said he put into it. It was a lot. It was a lot of hours.
His
But he said he
deepest
only just
character right now has
finished Act
40. Yeah, his deepest character has a little over 40 hours. He has way more than that
Yeah.
because he's been doing multiple characters, but the character that
That's
he's made it the
true.
furthest with, he's made it the furthest
Yep.
doing 40
Isn't that
hours.
nuts that we have a game like Baldur's Gate come out and then like a few weeks later a game like Starfield's coming out?
Yeah, when
And
the
they're
past
both
few years have been
massive
nothing.
games.
Huge games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Games that you
And
can do
honestly,
anything.
That's the thing that I think like especially makes Baldur's Gate 3 fun is like there's so many ways, like so many options on like what you can do and so many different routes on how the story could go, what you experience and stuff like that. So like I feel like however many times or however many campaigns you have and how you play the game, each time you're going to experience something new.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what makes it so fun is just like this sense of newness you have every time. Like what I'm experiencing in my solo campaign, like how the story is going and the choices I make are very, like my experience is very different in my campaign with my friends. So it's like, I don't have to worry about feeling like I'm repeating the same thing. Or like re-experiencing the same thing because it's constantly something new that's happening. And so it's just like, it's so well made. And even like the combat system, like I know Jorge, you said you really hate turn-based games.
yes.
It's only mainly like in the combats where you do that. But even that, I feel like they designed it so well to where it's not like super boring or anything having to wait each turn. I guess there's
Is
like this
it-
sense of
What kind of turn-based is it like? Is it more like Fire Emblem turn-based, like where it's like that big like field map where you have like a bunch of different characters that you're controlling at one time, or is it more like
Or Persona.
yeah, like more like Persona
Yeah.
or
like one by one.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
You don't do multiple at the same time. But if you are playing with friends and you and your friend like roll initiative and like kind of are in the same bracket on when you can go, you and your friend can do stuff at the same time. You don't have to worry for your friend to finish before you could start picking out what to do.
Cool.
But I will say it's probably helpful to like communicate what you're gonna do so you both don't waste your actions on the same like enemy if that enemy is gonna die by just one of y'all's actions. So there's some communication that I think would be helpful on that end to do when you're playing with friends.
Gotcha.
But it's just like there's so many options and stuff on what you can do even in combat, and there's so many like spells or melee moves and stuff that you have to like be strategic about. So if you like also have fun with like trying to strategize, that's fun in that sense. But also I feel like this like sense of pressure and anticipation is really high too, and like what is gonna happen. Like last night I was in this super long combat. I genuinely thought I was gonna die, y'all. Like it was rough. More enemies kept coming in.
How long did it take?
Let me see if I could like
to get to that one battle. Because like a lot of times I feel like I get slowed down a lot in like
so scared for
early
myself.
Final Fantasy games with the turn-based. Like Final Fantasy X, I'm still maybe 2/3 of the way through, just because like later on you have to use such a specific strategy and use your character so specifically, and you need to have invested things so wisely in order to even like defeat certain monsters that you need to be so strategic about that sometimes certain fights take like 30-40 minutes and you're not even guaranteed a win. And it's just so exhausting a lot of the time, especially with early Final Fantasy games, that it's just like, I don't have the stamina for that. You know, I wasn't like raised.
Final Fantasy 13 was like that.
Yeah, to like be able to game that hard on such a grind when a lot of it is so slow paced. Like even like Persona 3 versus Persona 5 Royal. The pace of 5 Royal is so much better and so much more enjoyable, because they just like get it and they like streamline stuff and like cut certain things that you don't need, versus P3 was just so grindy to even like be able to get to certain bosses and to like unlock certain things. And it's just like, as much as I do enjoy that puzzle and challenge of being like, wow, I guess I can't get past this part until I fucking figure it out, and you know, they have to go look it up or just like solve it with, you know, your detective gamer skills. But I much prefer just having the game guide me gently through and just, yep, that makes sense. Let me just swing a hammer or a sword and kill whatever I want and not have to worry about elemental weaknesses or whether or not this thing would rather be hit by a volleyball or a fireball. Like it's just not something I care about. I want to play Final Fantasy X and I want to swing my sick ass water sword around and I want to kill everything with it, but that's not how it works, because if you swing at a vulture with a sword, it'll just fly away and it's like, fuck you can't hit it with that. You gotta use the volleyball guy. Or what's the name of the
Waka?
Yeah, but what's the name of the ball?
Waka.
I think his name was Waka,
Yeah, Waka, but what's the name of the ball?
He was in Kingdom Hearts too.
What's the name of the sport
like
though?
It's literally just like at the first game.
It's
you talking about
what was it called?
you can play like the mini game for it, which is like badass.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole
Blitzball?
Blitzball. Yeah, Blitzball. They had a whole FIFA 2002 in there. It was awesome.
It was amazing. Also, I think I was trying to look back on it. I think it might have been somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
When I was in that combat. But the nice thing about it, I don't feel like it's slow paced.
Yeah.
Like there was so much happening in that combat scene and I was just like panicking. And I feel like the anxiety is what like contributes to the drive of it and like makes it not as boring, because it's just like, oh my god, what is happening? Like, am I about to die here? Like, what? After finishing that combat phase, I was like, this was so long, but also I feel like I truly didn't know what was gonna happen. Like, I was trying my best with like fighting off my enemies and like keeping my teammates up as much as possible, but like I truly like did not know if I was actually going to survive that battle or not, which I did, and I was so proud of myself. Oh my gosh,
how merciful are the respawns? Like if you if you die, how far back do you have to go in Baldur's Gate 3? Is it like
whenever your last save was, I
really?
guess.
So
but
you just need to be on top of your manual saves, or is it auto saves?
There's auto saves.
Okay. But you need to be on top of manual saves too?
Sometimes like I like to just manually do saves too, just as like reassurance.
So if you were to manually save right before you went to a big ass battle, took you 40 minutes, you got your ass handed to you, you died, you would go right back to the beginning. They wouldn't send your ass back to the like a couple hours or anything.
Yeah.
That's good. That's very kind of them.
Yeah.
That's
No,
good
just
because,
right
bro,
before.
I
That's
played,
old school games, man.
dude. When I was playing Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, dude, I was playing this hard ass boss, bro, and that shit took me all the way back, like 2-3 missions before that boss, bro. And I swear,
way.
I wanted to break my fucking controller.
No.
I was like, no way. I was playing on like the hardest difficulty and everything.
It's bullshit.
I was like, bro, what?
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, no, Drew and I have been playing those like GameCube games through NetPlay and stuff, and it's just really hitting me how hardcore these older games are in terms of like, nope, sorry, you didn't make it through
checkpoints,
30
man.
minutes of, continuous perfect movements and platforming ability. Guess you got to start the whole thing over. Get good,
Dude.
I guess. It's like,
It's insane.
No, but I mean, that
not
makes
even a
sense
story
though.
in these games. They don't
'Cause
even have voice acting. Why am I even doing side jumps for?
Remember Crash Bandicoot checkpoints?
Oh, God.
Yes. Oh my god.
Them shits were pretty bad, bro.
yeah,
What even is
even
the
even in the
story track?
remake, it's unforgiving.
That
Yeah.
had me crying, man.
The
I was so
remake, dude.
frustrated.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
The
That shit
remake
had
is
me
still
sad.
that bad with the save points and shit, which is good, I guess, because you're getting the full experience from the first games, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So there was this article that Blue Point Games made, the people that remade the Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls games for PlayStation. So they were talking about how they remade games and how you get the sense and the feel of the original game, but still get a brand new game almost from it. So what they did is they got the same game pretty much, the original game, and they stripped all its graphics, all of its assets and stuff, and they pretty much keep the gameplay the same, the same engine and everything. And then they built a complete new game on top of it to where it's literally just, hey, this is the same game, but it looks better. And that's how you get games like, Shadow of the Colossus, and then you get the Demon Souls remake. That's how you make it feel
I still
like
wanna play
it's...
that.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
That's literally how you get it to feel like it's nostalgic still, but it looks, super good because you're pretty much playing the same game. It just looks better now.
Literally, I mean, Capcom stole that exact formula. They were like, wow, that worked perfectly for Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls. Let's just do that for all of our Resident Evil games. And that's just what they've been
They
doing.
just remade all of them.
Yeah, just made them better and prettier. But like, ultimately, it's still the same engine. Or it's their new engine for the newer games. But like, yeah, it's like... It's so easy for them to remake, and they capture the vibe of the originals. Like the only one I played was
it's pretty
the Resident
dope.
Evil 4 one, the one that just came out this year. That was phenomenal.
You played it?
I played it, and
How
it
is
feels
it?
exact.
Damn.
Yeah, well, okay, it's way better than any of the old versions. The last time I played it was on the GameCube emulator. So,
Question, Kevin. So, the Resident Evil GameCube version of Resident Evil 4, right? So that was supposed to be the only version, but then all these other versions came out, even all the way up to like the PS4 and the Xbox One.
bro, there's a VR
Which
version on
is the
Steam.
best? Yeah, there's even a VR version.
VR
Which one is the
on
best version?
Oculus. I mean, shit, man.
Which one would you say is the best one?
The remake, the new one that just came out, is without a doubt the best
Well,
one.
but besides the
Before that,
remake, like what would you say from the originals?
if originals of the Resident Evil 4 is before the remake of all the different ports,
Because I want to play one of them, but I don't know which one to play. Should I play the original GameCube version, or should I?
I've only played the original
the VR version.
GameCube. Yeah, I mean, the VR version is cool. I own the VR version, but I literally never played it. I just have it downloaded on my Oculus, but like my Oculus is buried in dust. That shit is never opened. It's in a case tucked away. I don't open it. Zuck ruined that thing so hardcore. So anyway, no, that is definitely not the way to play Resident Evil 4. Maybe the PS4 generation, but if you can get like somehow a collection of them, if there's like, I don't know if there's a bundle for PS4 that has like Resident Evils 1 through 6 or something, but if
There is. I have it on the PS4 and
yeah,
on the Xbox
I'd play
One.
Resident Evil 4 on that generation then.
And on the GameCube.
Yeah, I'd still do it on that generation if nothing else for the resolution. Because if you do it on GameCube, you're getting 460p. So like, why?
Yeah.
just play it
Okay.
in 1080 at least, even if it still like looks kind of like nasty because it's like the 2002 upscale that they just like, yeah, whatever, fuck it, we'll just do it, and then they'll give you the 1080 upscale, and then you gotta then get further upscaled on your 4K TV, and it's just like, yep, gotta love that.
I don't know about you guys, but I like playing the originals before I play the remake.
Really?
So I could see what the difference is, you know?
Sure.
That's why I haven't played any of the Resident Evil remakes yet, because I want to play the originals first.
See, like, my thing is,
So I can
I've
really,
played...
get...
Yeah.
respectable.
In terms of what is currently out there, where you have original and remake, I mean, that's like a thing that's been really redone. And not remake in terms of like God of War, right? Because like the God of War remake versus the old God of War wasn't necessarily a remake. That was like a reboot, retelling.
That's a
sequel.
reboot, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
That's
like a different thing. Same with the Tomb Raider ones. Those were like reboots, not necessarily like one-for-one remakes of the old Tomb Raider games. But these one-for-one remakes of these old games, of them, the only ones I've played now are the Resident Evil 4, and I've played old Resident Evil games. Oh, I did Shadow of the Colossus. I played both Shadow of the Colossus and its remake.
Okay.
What other remakes have I played? No, the Mario stuff was remasters, so not those.
Yeah.
What remakes?
Stupid
What other
piss poor
remakes
remasters.
just came out recently? Yeah, no, fuck this piss poor remasters. So anyway, between the Shadow of the Colossus remake and the Resident Evil 4 remake, both of them are far superior and ultimately the only version you should ever even consider playing, really, because they improve upon everything of the original, like all the flaws, and then they don't ruin or detract from the experience. Oh, the other one that I've played, now I was thinking about it, is the Final Fantasy VII. I've played through all of the first remake one that has now come out, and I've played through the first part of Final Fantasy VII OG. I played through pretty much where the first of the remake games gets to. So I'm about the same in both. And I don't really think I'm going to continue playing the original game because I just like the remakes that much more. And Jorge, you're right. Like, I get where you're coming from, but I feel like that's like almost the same as like saying in order to really enjoy Naruto, you have to watch all the filler too. It's like, I don't know if you really need to play, you know, the shitty first PS1 Resident Evil game and have to deal with like those clunky tank controls for 25 hours just so that you can truly enjoy the Resident Evil 1 good remake from a couple years back. Like, I don't think that's true. I think you can, in fact, have more enjoyment if you don't suffer through the first one and you just like go and appreciate all the other things. Or at least play like a little bit. Maybe play 20 minutes of the first one. Because like that's all I've done. I gave up playing the first one after half an hour because I was like, I hate these controls so much. I was born way past any time where I needed to put up with this. I don't have any desire to put up with this. Anytime I play a game where the default control is inverted controls, I flip them in my whatever settings because that ain't how I was raised. I didn't play those games like that.
Inverted controllers.
No, dude, every time I play
shit.
Wind Waker, like OG Wind Waker on GameCube, and they're gonna try and get me to have inverted controls, I'm like, that's not happening. Not here, not now. No, sir.
I never played those games. I want to, but
Wind Waker
Nintendo
is so
doesn't want to
fun.
release them on the Switch, so I'll just pirate it.
No, yeah.
Dude,
It's crazy.
They're actually folding with that. I ain't gonna lie.
They're giving up money.
Like that's all I really want. I just want Wind Waker, Twilight Princess.
They've already
Nintendo doesn't
released
want to
them.
make money, bro.
They've already
Nintendo
released the
doesn't like the
remasters.
idea of money, dude.
For some reason, they released Skyward Sword, and it was like kind of meh. Like, it does not have very good like tablet or like controller
The
controls.
shittiest port ever, dude.
I feel
You know, it was cool, but I don't really like the controls of that game.
I heard the controllers were better on the Switch than they were on the Wii.
They are.
I don't know. I played a little bit. I didn't finish it. I own it. What were you gonna say, Lana?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like they're banking so much on like Pokemon to carry them through in terms of making money and stuff like that. Like, they've released so many Pokemon games in the past couple of years.
It won every year.
I know, which is insane.
They just had a Pokemon Presents and announced a bunch of stuff, right? And get this shit. Pretty much, it was like a 30-minute presentation. The first 20 minutes, it was all like side games like not even really side games. It was all apps. It was literally all just ads for apps and like shows. It was all peripheral shit. It wasn't even a real game. So for 20 minutes, you just need to be a dedicated Pokemon fan to even give a shit about any of it. But they did announce Detective Pikachu 2, and I do want to play that, I will say. But then the final 10 minutes of this
I wasn't sure if you meant the game
movie?
or the movie.
No, I don't know. I'm sure the movie.
I've never seen the
eventually.
movie actually.
It's fine. It's a decent enough
movie's
movie.
good.
But the final 10 minutes, all they did
Ryan
was talk about
Reynolds
the
as
DLC. They just
Pikachu.
talked about DLC for the Pokemon game from last year. So it was like 30 minutes of like nothing really that substantial in terms of like new shit. But you're right. The writing on that.
Does it still run like shit?
Yeah, it does. It's not gonna be fixed until maybe the DLC comes out, but who even knows then? But
You mean the Switch 2?
Yeah, seriously. Was the Metroid Prime that just came out, were those remakes or remasters?
Remastered.
They were remasters.
Yeah, but they pretty much could be almost remakes because they
Right.
are so
But-
good. So good.
Have there been any actual Nintendo remakes of a first party game? Because I feel like it's all been remasters
Yes,
and ports.
yes.
There have
The
been.
Link's Awakening was a remake.
Okay.
Oh, I
Yes.
want to play that actually.
Yeah, the
Interesting.
Switch
That's the
version,
top-down
Link's
game, right?
Awakening. Yeah,
Is-
the original came out on the NES. I want to say,
Right.
Yeah, that game's old as hell.
but that game was a remake.
Yeah, I don't know. What
And
other
I feel
ones.
like Nintendo could very easily just drop like a 3D Zelda compilation pack or whatever, like how they did with Mario. They could do that with they can drop Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and probably like another one. I don't know.
Bro,
what's
here's
another
what they
one
would
can
do,
have.
because they would do this and they would
That's
make
way
money.
too much
They
money
would
for
drop
them.
2 different packs. Both packs
They
would be
lose too much
$60. The first pack would
Okay,
be the
yeah.
Wind Waker. It would be like some bullshit like Wind Waker and Majora's Mask. And then the other pack would be Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time or something. Or like, mix of the two.
True.
Instead of having both the ones that are like from the same generation together, they'd have it one N64 and one GameCube one together, even if it was the remaster of the GameCube one. It'd probably be a remaster of the N64 one anyway, too. But yeah, they'd release those together, both for $60 each. That's how Nintendo makes money. They wouldn't give you all 4
Have
for
you
$60.
used-
Fuck that, never.
Have you used Nintendo's online service thing that you can stream their games online
Not for
from
streaming
the Switch?
them. Haven't streamed any.
So it goes all the way up to Game Boy Color, I think.
Okay.
But like it has NES, SNES, N64, and the N64 actually has a Ocarina of Time on there.
Nice.
So it's like, yeah, it's like this little service they have. They even have Genesis available too, which is crazy because like during the Genesis times, like Nintendo and Sega were beefing hard, and now look, Sega's stuff is on their service. It's so weird, but they do have a bunch of games on there, like the Ocarina of Time. They have a bunch of like other N64 games there too. So do you think that they're gonna eventually go all the way up to like the GameCube and shit like that, where they
Not
just
on the
have it to where you
Switch.
can just stream it online?
Not on the Switch.
You think so?
Yeah,
You
I don't
so?
think, maybe on the Switch too, but they could. I don't think it's like outside of their ability to do it. I just don't think they're gonna do it, really.
And it has like multiplayer and stuff on there too. So if you want to play like Mario Kart N64, you can actually play it online with friends, which is cool. But like, it's all the stuff that we do pretty much on Dolphin. That's what
Right.
Nintendo's doing, and they're monetizing it.
And it's not even as fun. Like, because we already have Discord and we're on our PCs. Like, they don't even have a good voice chat. Like, you can't even,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
even have voice chat built in on
The Switch don't have
the
voice
Switch.
chat, right?
No, you gotta download the app to use voice chat.
You have to
They
use
don't
a
have it on
phone.
the.
You actually have to have a
Yeah,
smartphone
that's
to use
whack.
it. It's ridiculous.
If they fix their online, I think they'll go up with that. But
Dude, I don't know if you guys have played Splatoon, but like that stuff is actually legit.
See,
Like, their
we could
online
do that,
stuff for
or we
Splatoon
could
is
just
legit.
play
I
Battlefront
never
2
played
on
with
GameCube with
Splatoon.
NetPlay.
It
and
made
it's like,
it
that
went
sounds
huge
better.
though.
Yo, that would be sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Not only would it be sick, it would
Holy
be something we
shit.
could do within the next 20 minutes. It's like so easy to set up and start doing.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, Splatoon. I played on the first Splatoon, and that was it. Like way back when, like 20, on the OG.
On the Wii U?
On the Wii U,
Was it Wii?
yeah, I played on a friend's house with the tablet, and like
Wii U.
Splatoon to me
Wii,
was cool because it took advantage of like your Wii U gamepad, but I haven't played it.
Yeah.
I've seen gameplay of it. I don't really know how it works now without that, gimmick. But
I never used that
But
gimmick,
yeah,
but I
other
have
than
Splatoon 3 and it's fire as fuck.
yo, what other multiplayer shooter you got on your Switch?
That's nothing else. You don't have a COD on the Switch.
No, you don't. You
No,
sure don't.
no COD on the Switch. I think the Wii U had a
Wait,
COD,
really?
right?
Don't
Yeah,
have.
You
Wii-
had Black Ops 2, right?
You don't even have like a good Star Fox game, bro.
I think
like,
they did. Yeah.
We were playing Star Fox Assault with the net play the other day, and that was epic. That is such a good 4-player co-op versus mode. It's so fun.
Nintendo gave up on Star Fox, man.
They did.
Sad.
You think so?
Very.
Gave up on Star Fox.
Damn.
But at least they
If
got
I was
Pikmin.
Nintendo, I would outsource Star Fox. Give it to some other studio.
What does Star Fox
them
not
do
so
it.
good?
The last one they did didn't so good.
They don't know what
damn.
they're doing with it. They're just not doing well with it. But did the new Pikmin game have co-op?
Yeah, hell yeah. And it sold really well too. So I'm actually happy because we can probably get a Pikmin 5.
See, I mean, that's beautiful. And if they put even that modicum of care into Star Fox, they could have oodles of money. Like, I feel like this is a problem with Smash Bros. Ultimate, and this might be a slight tangent, but it'll come back in full circle. I feel like for the next Smash Bros. game, they're gonna come out with a Smash Bros. Game, and I feel like it's gonna have a hard 180 where Ultimate had way too many characters. Like 10% of Smash Bros. Ultimate is even Nintendo characters at this point. Most of them are like third-party
Fire
IP
Emblem.
characters.
It's just Fire Emblem.
It's
Smash.
Fire Emblem, but like there's like Minecraft is in there, and there's there's just too many characters in Smash Bros.
Sora's
Ultimate.
in it.
Yeah, Sora's in it. Like there's just a lot. To where I feel back when it was Melee, especially, all the characters in there all had first-party games released by Nintendo around, if not very close to, the release of Melee. So Melee let you actually play the games that made you care about these characters on the console. You can't do that with a Switch. You can't care about Snake with the Switch. You're not playing Metal Gear on the Switch.
Well, soon you can.
Yeah, well, soon. But it's just, that's the thing is, I feel like the next Smash Bros. Game is going to kind of have a weird 180 where it's going to go back to just first party Nintendo characters.
Can I know my hot take?
Focus more on that. What's your hot take? That's my hot take anyway.
I don't think there's going to be a next Smash game for a good long minute.
Yeah.
At least like 5, maybe probably 5-10 more years.
I think you're right.
How long?
But I think when it
was
comes back, it's going to be
between-
just Nintendo first party characters. And I think if they're smart, they would take advantage of releasing games that align with those characters again, because they didn't do that with Ultimate, and it really missed the mark. Because with Ultimate, their money making strategy was just drop a shit ton of DLC and make as many characters as you can and stages and whatever.
It was
And the
kind
same
of
they're doing
giving
with
like
Mario
Fortnite
Kart.
strategy.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
it was really what
what's giving
characters people asked for too, though.
the craziest strategy right now is the Mario Kart strategy. Holy shit. They are taking a game that is a decade old, and they're like, if not older, actually, and they're just systematically releasing all the old maps they have. They're not making any new maps. It's just all the
Oh,
old
it's true.
Mario Kart maps, and you have to buy them independently in packs of 4 or 6 or something for $30 each. If you want to have the ultimate Mario Kart experience, you have to buy Mario Kart 8 Ultimate, or whatever, the Super on the Switch, and then by the end of this year, you'll be able to spend an extra $260 to buy all the other maps, if not more. And for the low price of $320, you and your closest friends and family can have the ultimate Mario Kart experience.
Came out in 2014.
That's-
So almost a decade.
Yeah, by the time all the maps of all the ones, I don't even think they're releasing all the maps of all the Mario Karts even. Maybe they are.
No.
I think it's just a lot of them. Just the best ones.
This ain't all of it though.
What do you mean?
Like, there's still some left.
Yeah, there's not many
from the
more
other
though,
games.
right?
Yeah, there isn't much left, but
There's
yeah,
like
they pretty
maybe
much
2
have
more
almost all of them.
DLC packs for Mario Kart 8.
Yeah,
They have
They even
the
put some in
schedule.
from the mobile game. They even put some in from the mobile game. That's crazy.
Not a
Like,
single new
they're
one
really
now.
milking this. They're milking this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the next Smash Bros is gonna probably come out on the Switch too. If I'm being honest,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Nintendo's going to want their next console to come out without a
big
Smash Bros
flagship
on it.
one.
And you want my hot take? I don't think the next Switch is gonna be backwards compatible.
With Switch games?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think the Switch 2 is gonna be backwards compatible with Switch games.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I could
Why?
see
Because
it.
I think because
they're
Nintendo
assholes.
is just that greedy and they want to re-release their games again. I promise you that's what's gonna happen. They're going to make it to where it's probably not cartridge based. It's gonna probably be some sort of weird like you remember the PSP
Mini discs?
not digital, but you remember the PSP had those weird like UMD discs? It was like
Oh,
those
God.
really small discs.
Yes.
I bet
Yeah.
you Nintendo's gonna do some shit like that. Some weird sort of cartridge where it's not backwards compatible.
When do you think
because-
game companies are gonna just go all digital? Like how many generations until they're like, sorry, it's not even worth it to release things physically.
This is the
anymore?
last gen for
think
sure.
so?
This is the last gen.
So you
in my
think with
opinion,
the
yeah.
Switch 2? See, that's my thing with it even being backwards compatible. Then at that point, it's like with the Switch 2, what's keeping them from not just releasing a 1 terabyte hard drive that doesn't even have the ability for you to put a game in, and you have to do everything via download. And then it's like, well, sorry, even if you owned a physical Switch game from before, looks like you got to have a digital collection now. What's stopping?
You know,
them from
Nintendo used to be super anti-online service, anti-downloading games from online. They used to be like, hey, we're giving you the full game on a cartridge on a disc. They used to be super against that. Now, look at
Wow.
them now, you know? So it's like the times are changing, and I feel like
Industry
they're just going
trends.
to get on top of the trends,
Yeah.
you know? And they're going to make like a digital-only system. Like kind of like how the Switch Lite, you can't remove the Joy-Cons. They're going to probably have it to where you can't even insert a cartridge, a disc, whatever it is.
Dang.
Switch 2 is gonna cause some anger, because I was angry when the PSVR 2 came out. I was angry that shit wasn't backwards compatible. I was like, dude,
They
what?
didn't have a good enough
like,
reason for that.
dude, does Sony not want money? Like, again, it comes back to the same thing. Do these game companies not want money? Like, I was super excited for the PSVR 2, and I did not get it because there were no games on there. Oh, I probably would have gotten it if I could play my older games, but no. You know, like I'm not gonna get this device that will not allow me to play my old games on there.
A lot of these
Okay?
games consoles
I'll-
think the console itself is going to carry it. And it's
No,
not.
that's not, dude. This is the software.
The
It's
PlayStation
the software.
5 wasn't even worth owning until this year. Really?
Dude, the software, man. Why do you think my Xbox is catching dust? You know, like it's the software at the end of the day, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe these people are just smarter than us. I don't know.
I don't know, man, but it's like that's something that is kind of strange to me is just like there's a lot of people working on these consoles and strategizing for like how it works, how, like its release and everything like that. And you know, I'm sure even people on their marketing teams and stuff like that are like anticipating and trying to figure out like how it's going to be received and what potential feedback there would be for it. And I'm like, do you like there's so many marks you've missed or potential that you just skipped out on, and it's like, why? Like, what was the reasoning and stuff behind that, you know? Like, why aren't you making it backwards compatible? Like, what's your reasoning for that? If there's like so many people working on this, how is it not crossed? Surely there's like more than one person that has brought it up.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
It
It had to be deliberate.
You know, if you see with the Wii U, the games that didn't sell well on the Wii U, it sold well on the Switch because they just re-released it. Like, you know, literally think of all the Wii U games that came out. Like, pretty much all of them got re-released on the Switch and did better there just because the installment base was better. It's insane. Like, literally Mario Kart 8 came out on this Wii U. They re-release it now, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Just put the Deluxe name on it, and now look, it has probably like almost 100 million sold.
Yep.
Dude, half the
It's-
games from the
it's
Switch
nuts.
they're released on the Wii U first. Breath of the Wild is released on the Wii U. Like,
How long until Nintendo drops the Switch, Kevin?
2 more years.
Like how? 2 more years?
Yeah, I think 2025 they're gonna announce at least, or like start like marketing towards a new
Wow.
console.
That's
Because by
the thing
then
that's
it's gonna
insane to me
be
is how they
it's gonna
drop
be 8
consoles.
years. It's gonna be 8 years in 2025. So they're gonna be.
That's about the time they started making new stuff.
Yeah.
But
Are
the
they gonna
time we
drop it
started
like they did the
expecting it, to be
3DS?
honest. Yeah, eventually.
That's the thing that's sad to me.
I mean, eventually
Okay.
they're gonna create some kind of new Nintendo shop and call it like some other name for it, you know, and be like, sorry, your account is no longer valid. Create a new one. We buy all your games again. Oh, you owned Ocarina of Time on your 3DS? Sorry, that doesn't count for the Switch too. Guess you gotta buy it again. Your game licenses don't count. I think like either they need to adapt to the times of like we're at a point where everything's so digital. They need to like really stick with like you bought a game once, cool. All of the consoles that you own that can run it, that you know that are ours, you should be able to play that game on. And we're gonna need to get to a point where you only need to buy a game once, because I guarantee you, we're gonna get to a point where you're gonna start really trying to push people to buy a game 4 times for 4 different consoles. People are gonna pirate it. They might buy it once, but they're gonna pirate it for the other 3 ones. They're not.
There needs to be regulation, big time. Like there needs to be some laws put in place about this.
Some kind of
because
digital like
if the-
consumer protection act where it's like you bought this
For
IP,
sure.
you bought this software already once, just because it's
Yeah.
just for one. I always thought that was dumb. That it was like, well, you have to buy it again for the PlayStation and the Xbox because it's a different console. It's like
Yeah.
I don't think
It's the
that
same game,
I
though.
don't think, especially when it becomes digital, especially now that we're
Yeah.
in the digital era. I don't think that holds weight. I don't think that holds water really. Just doesn't.
Nope.
Especially we're gonna have
Nope.
digital
And-
only licensing. You're gonna try and tell me that this license is gonna be valid for my entire life like a physical thing would.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. So like
Pirating is
For-
just easy.
for me,
it's just sorry. It just is.
the biggest concern for me moving forward with the all digital future is the fact that we don't truly own this stuff, but also how these companies can genuinely rip us off. And there's no other way for us to buy this game because it's only on X, Y, and Z system. For example, if I wanted to buy Spider-Man 2 and it's only on the PlayStation Network, I'm not able to go into Walmart and buy a copy of Spider-Man 2 if it's $30 because it's only on the PlayStation Store and it only costs $69 there. So I can't go somewhere else and buy it cheaper, you know? And that's what these companies want at the end of the day. They don't want you going somewhere else and getting that game cheaper. They want you to pay full fucking price for this
Every
game.
single time.
And whenever
True.
they decide for the game to go on sale, then you can get it on sale.
Yep.
But, you know,
I
it
can
just
borrow
pisses
any
me
of your
off.
PS5 games. You can borrow any of mine right now because
Yeah.
most of mine are physical.
Exactly. That's not gonna happen with the all digital future.
Nope.
You know?
Unless, and I would give a lot of grace and a lot of appreciation if Phil Spencer came out and was like, hey, we're gonna start doing this all digital future, but through the Xbox, we're gonna give you some kind of Xbox game locker, and it's gonna be all the games you have purchased. And if you want to give it out, let one friend borrow it, you can go have a pretty UI where physically is looks like a library. It's your locker. You can click on a game and be like, share with friend, and your friend, one person can borrow that game, and it would be so easy for them to stay on top of who had whatever license to whatever game. That's not hard.
Yes.
That's shit that we've had figured out for a long time with the internet. So.
You could also instead of having people pay full price for whole new games and stuff like that, Nintendo has I think it's Nintendo Online. You pay a monthly thing for being able to play online with friends and also access to cloud and stuff like that. You could also do a monthly subscription of sorts for folks to pay so they could
if they want to go that route,
be able to, that could be part of the package is being able to share.
Give the
on
consumers options.
Give them good
You know?
options. Give them options that make them not want to pirate. because
hell yeah. I mean,
Exactly,
if
'cause
that's
that's
what
even
you want, right?
worse.
that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because
Do you want me to go and
unfortunately,
pirate your shit?
like that's the thing? That's what happened.
We're really
when they
outing
found,
ourselves
like,
here right now.
Well, I mean, no, this is like actual like consumer psychology. Like this is like standard.
It's
this was a
true.
thing they found when like streamers became like a thing. When streaming services like Netflix and like when the big ones popped off in the mid 2010s, there was a huge drop in the spike of like pirating because consumers felt like they actually had a choice. But recently, in the past 2 years, with the insane streamer wars going on and nobody having any idea where to watch anything because consumers are
Man.
confused, they don't feel like they have a choice, they don't like their choices, they just steal. Like that's what you do. Like
And the
unfortunately,
prices keep going up.
it like if you I get it. Like I don't think anybody should ever steal anything. I only ever really pirate games that I own because it's just easier to play GameCube games on my computer than plugging my
Yeah.
GameCube in and putting a disc in. And that's the thing where it's like if Nintendo made it convenient to play their games on their console, I would pay all the money in the world to do that. But they don't make it convenient. It's more convenient to run Dolphin. It's just more convenient to run Dolphin on my PC. And that's what it is, any day of the week. And if once these companies figure that out, they might actually be able to make a lot more money. But I feel like the problem is and that's just the problem with a lot of corporations, is the people at the top make enough money that they have no idea that they could make a lot more for everybody else too. It's tragic.
Have you guys ever used Mercari?
Yeah, love Mercari.
Yeah, Mercari's awesome, and
I have no idea what that is.
it's
eBay,
think
but
of
for,
it
like,
like just another eBay,
stuff.
but you don't like live auction and shit like that. But you can go on there and find some good stuff. So I was thinking, why shouldn't there be like a Mercari type of site where someone wants to sell their digital game? Like, let's say I have a game and I bought it, and then I don't want to play this game anymore. I'll go and sell it. I'll set my own price, and I can just sell it online. And then when someone buys it, then my game license can get revoked, and it can go to that person, and now he's able to use that game.
Yeah.
And it's gone from me. And I set my price, what I think the game should be worth, and that person can buy it. You know, there's so many ways that stuff can go because we have
just don't
literal
see
digital
software
stores
as like
and auction sites. You know,
yeah. What's it called? The limited commodity. We just haven't really been treating and never have like in such a way, because like the thing about it is like with software, you in theory could sell an unlimited, like one person could buy 80,000 copies of Starfield and it wouldn't technically matter because it's all digital and they just bought like the license to it. And that shouldn't be allowed to happen. Each person should really only be able to buy one. But I guess in theory, if you want to be able to buy 1,000 copies of Starfield digitally, you should be able to because, you know, freedom and whatever. But you should be able to give those to whoever you want, whenever you want, because you bought them. And that's the thing is usually you can't unless you bought it physically. If you bought 5 copies of Starfield physically, you can give them out to whoever you want, whenever you want. But if you buy them digitally, you cannot do that. And I hope that one day changes, but yeah, it probably will take like the law to intervene to make that a thing. And it's gonna have to take like
There has to
a
be
structural
competition, dude.
change in how they like actually like record and count the things that they sell in the licenses to each of the games, and it might become a little trickier because the software can't be as fluid. Like you do actually have to assign a value to it, and that's the thing right now is like, yeah, it's whatever, it's just numbers. You can sell as many as we want. And I guess nowadays you do actually have more license keys than not, but and DRM stuff and all that. But yeah, I don't know. They just need to make it more convenient, and they need to offer the games catalog. And if they did that, they'd make more money, and they wouldn't have
Huge
to deal
facts.
with things like Dolphin and like people trying to pirate and emulate their games. All of them.
huge facts. But I will be getting Starfield early, but I do want to review Starfield. I will put a review out. I will do probably just an unboxing video. That'll go up sometime next week because it comes in on the 31st, and the 31st is on a Thursday.
Of August.
So I'll probably just
One Piece
record
Day.
something. I'll record something quick, put it out. Probably it'll be a YouTube short. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not gonna do a review on this game until at least I have 100 hours. because I think when it comes to reviewing big games like this, you can't just do something quick. You have to do something like, you know, you have to get as much as you can from the game. So I'm going to take my time for sure with this game. I'm not going to try to rush it out or anything, but that's kind of what my review process will be for this. But yeah, I definitely am going to review the game and I'm super excited about it.
Thank you so much, friends, for joining in for this episode of RPG. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all the good things. Follow us each on our different social media platforms and such. And yeah, comment again what you would like for us to talk about, what your thoughts are on the things we discussed in this episode. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Bye!